What's the specific focus on the lights during Hanukkah? As in Judaism, we have a lot of different holidays, and we all know what Pesach and Sukkot and Shavuos. Here we come and there's a focus on a specific physical thing called light, fire, flames. And it's not even for the flame itself. In fact, you can't even get benefit from that flame. On Shabbos we have lights, but that's for honor, that's for kavod, for oineg. So we shouldn't trip over things, for shalom bayis. It's very practical. Over here, there's a light which isn't practical at all. What's the focus over here on that? So we have to look at Hanukkah as a whole. We have to look to its earliest sources, which is Yosef HaTzadik. The Gematria is brought in the Svarim, Bnei Yissaschar, and others. Of Yosef is Melech Yavon, and as well Antiochus. So we see that specifically there's this connection between Yosef HaTzadik and the Hanukkah and Yavon. So if we go further, it says that Yavon is Choshech, the Medrash in Bereshis Rabbah and many other places. Why is Yavon Choshech? Why are they darkness? It says because they darkened the eyes of the Jews. And how did they do that? They wrote on the Karen, on the horn of an ox, of a shore, that you don't have a portion in Hashem. That Klal Yisrael don't have a portion in Hashem. And that darkened our eyes. And out of all the Avos, out of all the Shvatim, which one of them is a shore? Yosef. So they wrote on Yosef, there's no portion in the God of Israel. What's going on over here? What does Yosef have to do with this? What does he have to do with Yavon, with darkness? What are they trying to combat within Yosef? There was someone named the Bluzhev. The Bluzhev was an unbelievable tzaddik and goyin. He was in Auschwitz. And they decided they are going to be Meiser Nefesh. They're going to risk their lives for the mitzvah of lighting Hanukkah menorah. They got whatever little oil they could. They twisted some wicks out of their clothing. And they gathered everyone for the one lighting. And the Bluzhev Rebbe looked around and he started saying the brachos. Sha'asa nisim laboseinu bayami mahem was manazeh. And then before the bracha of Shechianu, he paused. And he looked around. He thought to himself, how can I say Shechianu b'kivanu v'yanu v'zanazeh? A bracha of joy, of the times, of what's happening. That I'm happy where I am now and what's going on. It was the darkest place in the whole world. One of the darkest times in history. How in the world could he be happy? And he looks around, he looked to ask the Kloisenberger Rebbe, who was in Auschwitz as well, if he could say the bracha of Shechianu now, the bracha of joy. And he looked around and he saw all the people. And before finding the Kloisenberger Rebbe, he said that bracha with more kavanah than we could ever imagine. And afterwards they asked him why he paused. He told them his safek, his doubt. And then he said, but when I looked around and saw Jews so connected to Hashem that even in the darkest place, the darkest time, they still want to connect, they still want to grow, they still want to do mitzvahs and Mesiras Nefesh. There's no greater simcha. That's ultimately looking and finding the light in everything, the good in everything, always finding the positive. Yosef HaTzadik was sold down and he was in the darkness. What does it say about Yosef HaTzadik right after that when he gets into jail? That he was a man of God. Because, explains the Mefarshim, he had Shem Shemayim Shagul B'Fif. After everything, after all the troubles, all the hardships, after being kicked into jail out of Ashes Potiphar, the incident with her and everything with his brothers, he's still talking about Hashem. He's walking around saying Baruch Hashem. That is Yosef HaTzadik. What was Yavon trying to do? They were trying to darken our lives. They wrote on the shore, they wrote on Yosef. You don't have a portion in God. And we latch on to Yosef. We grab onto Yosef. What does Yosef say when he meets the brothers of Parshat Miketz? Don't worry. Everything was for the good. Everything is run by Hashem. So what does Yosef have to do with Yavon? What does Yosef have to do with anything? Yosef is the ultimate champion of bitachon. In these times, in these days, we have to grab on to the light in the darkness. Yosef's that light. Why does light come from Hanukkah? Because Hanukkah is fighting Choshech, Yavon, where they try to tell us, you don't have God. And that's the ultimate darkness. And what's the ultimate light? Yosef, bitachon, running after every situation saying, Baruch Hashem. We shall be zeicha, this Hanukkah, to spread our light, which is latching on to Hashem in every situation. Have an amazing Hanukkah.